Good evening, fellow writers. You just tune in to Happy Endings. Today, we discuss an interesting issue: how to write the perfect story. Every story involves a beginning, a middle part, and the end. A linear plot, a course of events. But tonight, we begin our discussion backwards. How do we pick an ending? How important are the events that lead us there? Is it more important to pick an end, or the way to get there? We're open to suggestions. Our phone number is 25309-53402, and we're waiting for your point of view. We're about to begin with two characters, John and Mary. John and Mary meet. What happens next? John and Mary fall in love and get married. They both have worthwhile and remunerative jobs, which they find stimulating and challenging. They buy a charming house. Real estate values go up. Eventually, when they can afford live-in help, they have two children, to whom they are devoted. The children turn out well. John and Mary die.
John and Mary die.
John and Mary die.
Have a stimulating and challenging sex life and worthwhile friends. They go on fun vacations together. They retire. They both have hobbies which they find stimulating and challenging. Eventually, they die. This is the end of the story. In an alternate reality, Mary falls in love with John, but John doesn't fall in love with Mary. He merely uses her body for selfish pleasure and ego gratification of a tepid kind. He comes to her apartment twice a week and she cooks him dinner. You'll notice that he doesn't even consider her worth the price of a dinner out, and after he's eaten dinner, he fucks her, and after that he falls asleep, while she does the dishes so he won't think she's untidy, having all those dirty dishes lying around. And puts on fresh lipstick so she'll look good when he wakes up.
I like my town with a little drop of poison. Nobody knows they're lining up to go insane. I'm all
In her dreams, John, who is an older man, falls in love with Mary. And Mary, who is only 22, feels sorry for him because he is worried about his hair falling out. She sleeps with him even though she's not in love with him. She met him at work. She's in love with someone called James, who is 22 also and not yet ready to settle down. John, on the contrary, settled down long ago. This is what is bothering him. John has a steady, respectable job and is getting ahead in his field, but Mary isn't impressed by him. She's impressed by James, who has a motorcycle and a fabulous record collection. But James is often away on his motorcycle, being free. Freedom isn't the same for girls, so in the meantime, Mary spends Thursday evenings with John. Thursdays are the only days John can get away. John is married to a woman called Madge, and they have 2 children. A charming house which they bought just before the real estate values went up, and hobbies which they find stimulating and challenging when they have the time. John tells Mary how important she is to him, but of course he can't leave his wife because a commitment is a commitment. He goes on about this more than is necessary, and Mary finds it boring. But older men can keep it up longer, so on the whole she has a fairly good time.
I just can't leave her. I can't.
One day, James breezes in on his motorcycle with some top-grade California hybrid, and James and Mary get higher than you'd believe possible, and they climb into bed. Everything becomes very underwater, but along comes John, who has a key to Mary's apartment. And freeze. You are now into Mary's subconscious. You can control her dream. There are 2 options. John kills Mary and James, or John kills himself. You have to make the decision now.